Yeah, so I think 10.2 is going to be Emerald Dream, obviously. I think most people think that. But I think it's clear from the latest cinematics that it's going to be based around Firak and Viranoth attacking the World Tree specifically. So if I had to bet on the raid, if I had to bet on the zone, I would say not just Emerald Dream, I would say Emerald Dream, but the specific part of the Emerald Dream around the World Tree. And I think the World Tree will be the centerpiece. I would not be surprised if like the whole marketing for 10.2 is like a zone with the World Tree in the middle. You know, kind of like you had the big tree in the middle of Ardenweald, right? So kind of like that. And so a lot of the gameplay and, you know, the dailies and the events and stuff will be straight up just defending the tree from attacks, which is kind of cool. I think that would be actually like super fun. And then I think the raid will be an attack on the World Tree. And I wouldn't be surprised if a large proportion of that raid happened like on the World Tree, like in the branches of the World Tree. I think that would be really, really cool. And I think we'll deal with that. I think we will kind of deal with the threat. I think we will kill Firak and or Viranoth and dispense with the danger to the World Tree. And in that sense, deal with the danger on the Dragon Isles, because I don't think 10.3 is going to be set on the Dragon Isles. Hijal again? Well, I think, yeah, I mean, hopefully a little bit better than Hijal. Yeah, hopefully. But I think that would be really, really cool. And I think like a defense of the World Tree in the Emerald Dream, a whole patch based around that, I think that would be a really good concept for a patch. I think it would be exciting. I think it would feel high stakes. I think it would feel like a climax of sorts, you know, dealing with Viranoth and Firak as they attack the World Tree. Fucking legit. Like really, really cool. You fight Viranoth and Firak in the raid would be really cool. Maybe at the same time. That would be sweet. I think it's more likely you wouldn't. I think it's more likely they would be one world boss each. And here's the thing. I wouldn't bet against a new dungeon. I wouldn't bet against a new dungeon in 10.2 either. Not a Mythic Mega Dungeon, just like a legit new dungeon. Like, as in a dungeon based around that. And maybe you would deal with Firak or Viranoth in that. I hope there'll be a 10.3, but I feel like Blizzard's patch expansion schedule won't go down that route. You reckon? Oh, I'm certain there'll be a 10.3. I bet my house on it. In fact, for me, the question is, will there be a 10.4? Because it wouldn't surprise me if there were. I predict at the moment that there wouldn't be, but it wouldn't shock me if there were. So I think 10.3 will then kind of be the first patch away from the Dragon Isles, where, you know, we dealt with what Viranoth and Iridikron considered their main objective, but we know that Viranoth and Firak considered their main objective, but we know that Iridikron is off in the void planning his own thing, and his own thing is to corrupt the world soul in the hope, from his point of view, that the Titans come to try and protect it so he can fucking fight them. I mean, it feels a bit... He must have a plan, right? But at the moment, it just feels like he's like, I just want to get the Titans here so I can fight them. And I respect that, but this is the guy who's like, be careful of those heroes, be careful of those player characters, they're mean. They're meaner than they look. Let's not fuck around, let's stay away from them and just get on with our own thing. But let's get the Titans here, because I'm going to fight them. I'm going to fight the fuck out of them. And it's a bit, okay, mate, sure. But I assume he's got a plan. And that's what he wants to do. Whoever he's teamed up with, the Harbinger, who I suspect is definitely Xal'atah. It could be Ashara, but I think it's 99% certain to be Xal'atah. She also wants to corrupt the world soul. But for her, it's literally just so she can have like a void corrupted world soul, which is the void's entire raison d'etre, right? With regards to our reality. Will 10.2 not be revealed and 10.17 is released? Yeah. 10.17 will release. Pretty sure 10.1 was announced before before 10.07 released. I'm certain, in fact, that 10.1 was announced and revealed before 10.07 was released. So I wouldn't, basically, we could have a 10.2 announcement at any point. Simple as that. Have there been indications of how Ridicron could cut the world soul off the Titans without killing or corrupting it? Oh no, they're going to corrupt it. If he's working with the Void, the deal he's made with the Void would only involve corrupting the world soul. I think he even says as much, like tearing the world soul from the Titan's grasp would mean corrupting it. He's explicitly saying that in that cinematic. And the people he's working with, the Void, would definitely, that's why they're involved, right? That's why they're part of the deal. Dragonflight is Kata 2.0. I mean, it's got some pretty big differences from Kata. Its setting, mostly, and characters and all the things that happen. But, because it's got dragons in it, it has got some, Kata-y type vibes, yeah. Because, again, because Kata was kind of focused around the Dragonflights as well, and the aspects as well. So, yeah, I get that. I do get that. There's lots of dragons in Kata, yeah. Kata ended so poorly, I think Dragonflight is going to stick the landing. I can't even see how they can fuck up right now. Like, their philosophy is so good. They're doing everything right in Dragonflight. They really are. Like, they are just nailing it. And I think the most important thing that they're doing is the rate of content release. There's always something. Even if you don't like what is in the game at any moment, there's always something else on the horizon, And I think that's so cool. And I love the focus on kind of cosmetics and stuff, this expansion. Really, really cool. Think about it as well. The new big baddie is Deathwing 2.0. Are you talking about Iridicron? I know, man. I think it's very likely we're going to see... Okay, so let me talk about 10.3. Sorry. 10.3, I think, will climax... I think the last raid is going to be underground, but I think it's going to be, underneath the Chamber of the Heart. Here's my prediction, right? I'm making it right now. My prediction is the final boss room of this expansion, the 10.3 raid, is in the Chamber of the World Soul. As in, you will see the World Soul of Azeroth, in the middle of the boss room. As in, there will be, the nascent World Soul. Whether it's, a ball of energy, whether it's kind of, some kind of fetus-y type thing. That's my prediction. That's where I think the final fight will be. That's what I'm putting out there right now. You can clip this. I'm going to look so clever if it comes true. If it doesn't come true, I'll just forget I ever said it. It might be interesting to see Firak and Veranoth attack the New World Tree just for Firak to come out like Deathwing. In that battle, Blue Dragonflight was almost wiped out by Deathwing. I see a lot of similarities between Deathwing and Firak. Yeah, totally. Like Argus behind Agramar. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. That's what World Souls look like, don't they? They've got the whole... Yeah, they look like a kind of a star chart, don't they? So yeah. My prediction is that it will be a boss room with the big star chart thing, which represents kind of a World Soul. Did in Argus, you're right, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if we revisit Agramar's room in the Draenei quests that are coming up in 10.17, just to subtly kind of, remind us of what a World Soul kind of chamber is and that they do exist. Ooh, this is starting to make more sense in my head. Yeah, there we go. There's my prediction. We'll go back to Agramar's chamber for some reason in the Draenei quests. And that's going to be there just to kind of remind us that World Souls, they exist in place and they are a physical thing that exist. Because then, final room of the last raid's going to be Azeroth's World Soul. That's what I'm saying. Do you think any actual Titans will come and visit? That is something I'm not sure about. Potential for some cool moments. Can we have Azeroth herself kill, injure Ridicron for the fight as her first action? Yeah, maybe. Who knows? I wonder if it will be a Ridicron that we're fighting in the World Soul, in the Chamber of the World Soul, because I don't think he will give a fuck at that point. He's only doing it to get the Titans there. I feel like it would be something voidy that would fight there. Because they're the ones that were trying to corrupt the world soul, right? I don't know. Maybe the Titans could arrive at the end and maybe we would kill Iridikron before that room. Yes, like, you know, Void Galakrond. Maybe Void Galakrond will be in the Chamber of the Heart. Or Chamber of the World Soul, right? I can see the final raid ending in Xal'atah and the final few fights being about us getting down to the World Soul Chamber via the Chamber of the Heart. Yeah, I actually think that'd be really, really cool. I actually think that'd be really awesome. I don't think Xal'atah will be the final boss because I think Xal'atah is... I feel like Xal'atah is a long-term baddie. I know a lot of people think Iridikron is a long-term baddie, and he might turn out to be, right? I'm not right about everything. Just nearly everything? But yeah, I feel like Iridikron is... I think Iridikron will be dealt with this expansion. You know? But the events that he maybe sets into motion won't be. So I think Xal'atah is a long-term baddie. She might even be the long-term baddie. If they were going to set up a long-term baddie, they could do a lot worse than Xal'atah. I think everyone loves her. I think she has so much potential. Her being of the Void and, you know, kind of this unknown rank in the Void. I feel like she's in it for the long haul. I don't think Iridikron is. I could be wrong, of course. But yeah, Void Galakrond in the fucking Chamber of the Heart would be immense. Be so cool. Or the Chamber of the World Soul, right? So as for the patch 10.3, I think it'll be away from the Dragon Isles. I don't think we'll get to the Chamber of the World Soul via Xal'atah. I think we'll get there via the new zone. And I think it will just... I mean, Avaloran maybe. Kaz'agal maybe. Is it Kaz'agal, the place they mentioned in the book? Kaz'agar? Kaz'agar, I think it is, isn't it? This place where these dwarfs apparently live. It's got to be one of them, right? Wait, do we still have a sword sticking out of our world? Yeah, but I'm not like... Look, I love the memes as much as anyone else, right? But I also can understand the concept of the sword being there and think it's quite cool. I don't see it as a loose story thread. I see it as like, I never ever thought the sword would be removed. Like when I saw the end of Legion and the cinematic, which I maintain is the best end cinematic to any expansion, where Sargeras got sucked off back to the Pantheon of the Titans, but as he went, he put the sword in the planet, just a very fucking cool thing to happen. You saw Sargeras in game for the first time, very fucking cool, and then once it was all sorted, and he went off to be tortured forever by Illidan, and you had the Velen sigh. So satisfying, so incredible. And then you got that panning shot over Xal'atah and you saw the sword in the world, and then you went there afterwards and it was there. I thought it was incredibly cool. And one of the reasons I thought it was cool is because it never occurred to me in the slightest that we would ever remove it. I was like, cool, a new permanent feature in the world. Like, when I saw it, like, I was like, yeah, cool. The world has changed because of the things we did in Legion. Awesome. But apparently, and I thought that's what everyone thought, but apparently like 90% of people, when they saw that sword, their first thought was, oh, I wonder when we're going to get rid of that. And I've just got to like admit that I obviously just think differently from most people, right? Because apparently Asmongold played the fucking game and he saw the big sword and his first thought was, oh, I wonder when we're getting rid of that. Apparently, like, 90% of players saw the big sword and they didn't go, oh, a cool new permanent feature which represents, you know, the legacy of our adventures on Azeroth. Their first thought was, oh, I wonder how and when we get rid of that. And it's like, what? Oh, shit. What if Iridikron is going to use the Void Empowered thing he got at the end of the Mega Dungeon and use that to try and channel Void enemy energy into Azeroth? Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's Iridikron's essence. So, okay, here's what we know. Sorry, it's not. It's Galakrond's essence. Now, there's lots of potentials for uses of Galakrond's essence. Okay? One use for Galakrond's essence is to bring back Galakrond. That's the obvious use for it, okay? And by the way, the thing that he took Galakrond's essence from and put it into is a thing of obvious Void design, right? Let's just bring up this cinematic. I've got it in my files. The thing that he has retrieved Galakrond's essence into is clearly a Void design. This is not his own little gizmo. This thing is not his. He has gone to the Void and he's gone, yo, I want to get the Titans here. So I think if you start corrupting their world soul, that's going to bring them here to defend it, because they sure as fuck don't give a fuck about any of the people on this planet. They only care about the world soul. So if you're on the point of corrupting it, then that's going to bring the Titans here, and I want to do that so I can fight them. You going to help me or what? And they're like, sure. We could really do with that essence of Galakrond, man. So here's a really cool receptacle for it. Go get it. And like, that is that, right? Is it the thing he got in? Is it the thing he got in the 10.1 cinematic? Is it? I don't think it is, but I'm happy to eat shit if it is. Let me find that. Secrets of the Reach. Here we go. This is the one. No, it's just the map. No, it's not that. No, that's... Oh, no. Is it? No. Nah, that's just the map. That's the map down to Abra. Oh, is it? Hang on. It looks... Is it the same thing? It does look like it, actually, now you mention it. I'll happily eat shit on that. Although it's purple now. It wasn't purple back here. But you're right. I think it is the same thing. Quite right. I take it all back. Let's just see if we can get... So that's like... I mean, that's literally just a map to Aberrus, right? That he took out of that stone thing there. Because then Viranoth takes that and decodes it. That's the action that happens there. So is he now using it to get the essence of Galakrond? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 little indentations with like bits around the side. Let's go back to the other cinematic. No, it's different. It's different. It's not the same thing. Oh no, it could, no, it is the same thing, but it has been like specifically Void empowered now. I think you're right. I think it is the same thing, but it's been specifically like altered by the Void, it looks like. Yeah, it's the same thing but voided. It's all been voided up. You're quite right. Now, what is possible as well, that it is actually a completely different thing, but Neltharion was working with the Void. So maybe the original thing that led to Aberrus was also from them too. Anyway, whatever, man. I feel like its utility has been created by the Void, by his like partner in crime, right? But I think you're right. I think it is the same thing. What was it like before? It was kind of orangey before, and now it's kind of like voidy. I mean, it kind of looks like the... I wouldn't mind betting that the runes around it are the same runes around the Sarkareth boss room. It looks like literally the pool in the middle of that, doesn't it? Yeah, it's the same item, but the mythic transmog version, yeah. It could be one for each element in the Pantheon, yeah, totally. But anyway, it's very, very cool. That's what he used to get the essence of Galakrond. And so, yeah, it could result in a Void Galakrond. That'd be pretty cool. Or, here's another thing. The book in Uldaman that talks about the... And this is something I had actually forgotten. That talks about, you know, when the Titans kind of did the mind control water a little bit? The thing that was the problem with the water, which is why it needed solving, is because it was corrupted by YOGG Saron. The water was corrupted by YOGG Saron. And the implication in that Uldaman book is that the water that corrupted... the thing that turned Galakrond into Galakrond was YOGG Saron corrupted water. And I feel like everyone's kind of forgotten that a little bit. And so the essence of YOGG Saron, the essence of Galakrond could be related to YOGG Saron. So if instead of bringing Galakrond back with the essence of Galakrond, it could feasibly be used to bring back YOGG Saron. And YOGG Saron as the final boss of Dragonflight would kind of be fucking awesome. Like YOGG SARON attacking the world soul, that could be kind of cool. So I am actually, my new prediction for the final boss of Dragonflight is YOGG SARON. I know that's kind of wild. I know that's kind of out there. I know that's like a long shot because I think really it's a Ridicron. I think it's kind of like surely got to be a Ridicron. Surely. But I think YOGG SARON will be involved. I don't think we're going to see Iridicron or whoever he's working with until after the whole Emerald Dream stuff. I think the Emerald Dream stuff is going to be its own thing. I think the Defense of the World Tree is going to be its own thing. It'll have nothing to do with Iridicron, nothing to do with the Void, nothing to do with anything. We'll go into that in the third patch, the third major patch. I think 10.2 and its subsidiaries will be all about just defend. Well, I think 10.2 will be about, and the raid will be about defending the World Tree from the onslaught. And I think 2.5, 2.7 will be the aftermath of that, with probably like the World Tree arriving. Could it be them paying off the BFA time walking lore bit that showed YOGG SARON's prison had thousands of years of extra unaccounted for decay? Yeah, like genuinely, legitimately. Here it is. I don't think anyone else has predicted this. I'm saying it right now. The essence of Galakron, I think, will be used to interact with YOGG SARON rather than bring Galakron back, necessarily. Or both. But I think YOGG SARON is going to be a major part of it. I don't think he will. It would be rubbish to have a final boss that we've already fought. It would not be the first time. The WOD final boss was someone we'd already fought. Have we ever fought? Yeah. Wait, have we ever fought him before? Well, we fought him in Warcraft 3, but yeah. Well, like I say, I've got, like, surely the final boss of Dragonflight will be a Ridicron. I can't see past a Ridicron to be the final boss of Dragonflight. I really can't. But I'm certain that YOGG SARON will be involved now. Like, I'm very, very confident YOGG SARON will be involved. But the ending to WOD was garbage. The way they got there was garbage, but I don't think the ending was garbage. Like, if you take, like, the story of the ending was garbage, but there was nothing wrong with, given that context, there was nothing wrong with the final boss fight or the final raid. It was just the fact that they clearly cut out a middle chapter. So they went from us fighting all of the warlords of Draenor, they went from that to actually them being the good guys, and just because Gul'dan's about now. And that just didn't make any narrative sense at all. Like, the idea of Grom suddenly going from the person that wanted to genocide everyone to being a good guy who we rescued and who helped us just because he got tied up by Gul'dan, that's literally the story, is obviously terrible. But Hellfire Citadel was a really good raid. It's fun. Has Blizzard ever confirmed we're getting a 10.3? Well, I don't think so, but we definitely are. There's no way that they, like, 10.2 is coming out before the end of the year. There's no way we're not getting a 10.3. No way. I think we are. Well, I mean, okay, yeah, maybe we won't, but, I mean, to be fair, a 10.2, if 10.2 was the final patch, and if it was defending the World Tree, and then the World Tree arriving in, like, the 0.5 and 0.7, that would actually be quite a good ending to the expansion, honestly. I'd be happy with it as an ending for an expansion. I'd legitimately, like, the new expansion would have been announced by then, because yeah, I'm 100% certain that the X pack will. No, I don't think. I think 10.3 will be announced before that. 10.2 will come out, then they'll announce 10.3, and then BlizzCon will be all about the X pack. You know, they won't reveal 10.3 at BlizzCon, I'm certain. Do you think 10.3, but no 10.3, but an early expansion release? I mean, it's possible. I wouldn't bet on it. That's my guessing at the moment, though. So yeah, I feel like everyone is sleeping on YOGG SARON at the moment. I feel like everyone's forgotten that it was very heavily implied that the thing that, and this is Dragonflight lore. This is like the new Alderman that tells us this. Let me find it. In fact, here we go. Yeah. Already, we are detecting reduced levels of contamination. I hope your investigation into how YOGG SARON compromised these living waters will yield answers. In the meantime, we can be assured that the evolution of another Galakrond will not be triggered by consuming unfiltered water. So, like, this report is basically saying out loud that Galakrond happened and evolved the way he did because of YOGG SARON corrupted waters. And I feel like with Iridikron taking the essence of Galakrond and taking it to the void, I feel everyone is sleeping at the moment on the potential for YOGG SARON to be a major thing coming up. Iridikron wants to slurp that Yoggi juice. Wow, I mean, who wouldn't? I thank you for coming up with our new t-shirt design, though. Slurp that Yoggi juice. Yeah, I feel like people are sleeping on YOGG SARON, and so here it is, my prediction. A boss room, probably the final boss room in the 10.3 raid, being like the chamber of the world soul, and YOGG SARON being a major thing. People are sleeping on that shit. Like and subscribe.